We're back with toolchain. We are looking at the multi-analyzer here. So last time we looked at the scope and all the cool things scope could do. Now we're looking at multi-analyzer, and to load them, you go up to a slot that says none. This is a blank slot and you click it and then you can go in. I'm in analyzers, and today we're looking at the multi-analyzer. If you're curious, I have another video where we check out scope, which has also got oscilloscope capabilities, but it's really meant more as a vector scope. Multi-analyzer is the multi-analyzer from the original right here. So this is the original. I used it in a lot of old videos. I thought it'd be interesting to compare and contrast. One of the big differences between these, they both have spectral displays. Over here. This one has an FPS control and is totally resizable. Like, look at that. That's pretty dang nice. Now, if we go over to the wave, I'm zoomed in pretty far here on the height. And there is a mid-side option to differentiate between mid-side. But this is where we get one of our big differences. As far as I'm aware, I don't know of a way. Maybe it's in like setup. No, not really. I don't know of a way to change the color of the two waves. Because you see on here, one channel's like blue and the other is green. On this one, they're offset, but it is really hard to tell what's what. And so it'd be great to get some color controls for that. It's one of the only differences where I think the old one has a bit of an advantage. These sync methods are the same. We have the low pass zeros in free running. So if we go over to free running here. Now this is a bit better with sine waves. This is free running. They just don't want to sit still. We go in. Really zoom in here. It just don't want to sit still. If we go to low pass zeros, and you see this one's so tiny that man, the resizing really is a huge plus. It sits perfectly still. Now, if you throw this something more complicated, it immediately begins to like freak out. Like the stability wise for the more complex waves isn't there, but for a lot of cases with single notes and things, it does quite well. If we choose a patch here. Like that's pretty nice. Now it's kind of hard to tell what's left and what's right because the color thing again, but that's that's a nice looking oscilloscope. You can freeze both displays. This one is a 32-bit plugin, so that makes it limited for some DAWs. Some DAWs don't support 32-bit at all anymore. So it is loaded by default in bridged mode. I'm not sure if there's a 64-bit version, but I don't think so. And you can look on the plugin database. I'll have it listed there. But I've used this for ages. Sometimes it's caused sessions to crash. So there's some stability problems that don't exist in the new version, which has not caused any issues ever. So that might be one reason for one versus the other. But it has a look, it has a feel. If we just take a look here at the spectrum and the spectrum here, we'll go over to this. Oh, by the way, there's a mid-side mode on this one too. It doesn't exist on this one. So that's another thing that's kind of different. But if we just look at how they fall, let's go for a sine wave. I don't know, they're both really smooth, but there's something about this one that just feels smoother. I don't know. Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I'm just nostalgic for it. But yeah, so those are some of the differences. You can get both still. This is the free plugin database on my website. If you look for RSMet, they have a whole bunch of plugins, but you can find them in here. And if we go to the developer site, this is what it looks like. So toolchain's the first one. And if you come down, you can get signal analyzer still. So they're still both, it's still available. It is discontinued, which is why it has a single star. Just for the record, I always 1-star discontinued plugins because I don't want to encourage people to go to something that's eventually probably going to become impossible or very difficult to use. Also, you might want to check out the oscilloscope database, which is every oscilloscope I'm currently aware of. So check that out if you're looking for some more interesting things. This includes ones that cost money versus just the free stuff. So let me know down below what you think. What do you think of these things? They're both free. Amazing that they've been available. And in the earlier years, when there was just less free stuff out there, Signal Analyzer was used a ton. I just used it on all kinds of stuff. I found it extremely helpful, and I'm so glad toolchain is coming to existence to continue the legacy of RSMet.